Hey there, happy Monday. I am super excited about our fourth tip for the challenge. And today we're going to be talking about design rules and tips and just general design outlines for your landing page. So first of all, the most important thing I want to tell you is that design doesn't work alone. And I know that sometimes it seems like the design is the biggest part, but it really isn't. Design works really well and has to support your copy, which means that when I plan a landing page for myself or for my clients, I always write the copy first and then we do the design. The design is there to support the message on the page. And that's why there are 3 things that every person who lands on your landing page should understand immediately. So number 1, when someone lands on your page, they should immediately understand what the offer is. So if I land on the page, can I immediately, within 3 seconds, understand what is the offer that you are making? Number 2, which is equally important, why should I care? Very, very important, because we need to be able to reflect to people why this matters to them. And here's why. There are thousands of competitors out there who are either doing pretty similar stuff to you or are just competing for the attention, and they're going to prioritize a certain pain over the pain that they are experiencing that you can solve. So within those 3 seconds that people decide if they're going to stay on your page or if they're going to jump to the next tab or open a notification on their phone, you need to convince them why they should care about your specific landing page and your specific solution. And the way to do that is by making it about them. Now, at Get Uplift, we focus on something called emotional targeting. I gave you a sneak peek to it with our first tip about headlines. But our main focus is on understanding the emotional triggers that make people buy, understanding why people make decisions and how. And emotion plays a huge part in it. Now, when you understand why people buy, you can actually create high converting experiences for them because you understand what they need to see on a page in order to convert. And in order to convert, a person needs to understand what's in it for her. It's not about your features. It's not about the pricing. It's not about the technology. It's about the value that they walk away with. Here's an example. You're not selling a t-shirt. You are selling confidence or self-esteem. You're not selling a policy, which is insurance. You are selling peace of mind. So the idea is that when someone lands on their page, they need to understand why they care, why they should care, because it will change something in their lives. It will make it better. And this could be, it would make me as a person better. It would mean that other people would think certain things about me. It could be that it would change my work. It could reduce pain, friction, fear. What is it that I care about so much? How is this going to change? Now, the way to do this, because I know that right now this may sound a bit overwhelming. So the way to start is with your headline and your subhead. The way I go about it is that the headline itself is essentially to do with the promise, the value proposition. What is that big claim that you are making? How is their life going to change? What fear are you going to take away? What pain are you going to solve? And the subhead tells you exactly what the solution is. So you could start by saying, never worry about X again. And then the subhead would say, this solution is meant for people like X, Y, and Z. So you start with the headline, with the promise, and you support it with the subhead. And that way, when people come in, they can immediately see what the solution is about. So what is this page about? They have clarity, and they know why they should care. The third thing people have to know when they land on your landing page is what to do next. What am I doing? Am I subscribing? Am I reading? Am I downloading? Am I scheduling a demo? What is it? Those are the 3 things. What is the offer? Why should I care? And what should I do next? Okay, those are the most important things. Then we can move on to design rules. And I've written a few down for me so I don't forget. Okay, First one is anything to do with just reducing noise. So that means colors. And I'll get into that in our next tip. But when you're choosing your colors, think about reducing the noise on the page. We see so many messages a day, so many pop-ups, so many notifications, so many people are trying to grab our attention with banners and ads. What you want to do is really reduce that noise and choose kind of quiet colors, something that will really reduce any anxiety. I want you to think about white space, spreading things out, giving people some space to see the different elements on the page. Think about a clean design. This is not to say that you have to have this slick, beautiful design, though you can easily use one of GetResponse's templates and it will do it for you. What you want to think about is just friction. The easier the page is to read, the less colors, the less things that are going on, the better. Next, you want to think about directional cues. Every single element that you place on the page within the design, if it's an image, a button, a logo, a bullet point, it all acts as directional cues. And when we're on a page, because we're bombarded with just so much stuff on a daily basis, we need the website, we need a landing page to tell us what to look at and what to do. So if you have too many things on the page, it's going to confuse people. And you want to think about those directional cues. So for example, we spoke about this on the very first day that we launched this challenge. When you're thinking about your images, the images are going to grab people's attention. Are they directing them towards the call to action? Are they making them look at certain elements? Is it too distracting? You really want to think about those things. Or for example, that similar elements, the same elements have the same colors all the time, or the same icon, and the language is used in the same way throughout the entire page. So it really is important to just help with directing people towards a button or a form or whatever it is that we're trying to get them to do. Another important rule, try not to use ghost buttons. Ghost buttons are those call to action buttons that you see that don't have any color in them. They just have like a nice border, but there's nothing in there. Those don't stand out and people just rush through them. Next, think about anything to do with false bottoms. So many times I'll see a landing page where it looks like there's nothing to scroll, like there's nowhere to go at the page ends. So be aware of that. Don't do that because you want people to continue reading. Again, with design, think about having a long page. Now, we're not going to get into this right now, but there is such a thing called stages of awareness, which means where people are in the buyer journey. Are they just at the beginning where they're just finding out about the pain, about what they're experiencing, they're not even sure they need a solution right now, or are they at the point where they're just evaluating different solutions and your competitors? And you need to know where people are in that stage so that you can know how long your landing page is. I have a blog post about it. I'll post it in the comments in here so that you can read more about stages of awareness, but there's just so many articles about it online. So just read one of those. But most important, you want to make sure that people can see that there's more to read and they don't think that the page ends, because if you didn't buy them in the header section, they'll just leave. What else? If you can think about distinguishing links from regular text. So sometimes you're going to have just a clickable text that it's link text. Make sure that it's in a different color. And I guess one of the biggest tips I can give you is don't follow design trends. Don't think about those beautiful things that you're seeing everywhere that people keep putting out, because many times they're just following some trends that seem cool, but they're not really converting. And people are just following each other without really having a clear strategy. So just because something looks nice or because everyone else is doing it does not mean it's converting. My biggest suggestion is to do your own research. Talk to your customers, survey them, ask them questions, understand their underlying emotional reasons, their intent, their pains, what they're going through, what they need to see on a page in order to convert. And you might find out that it should be completely different than what your competitors are doing. So don't follow your competitors, Follow them just to know what they're doing, but don't copy them. Please don't. That's it. That's what I have for today. Main things that we learned today, and most important things. The design follows the message, not messaging follows design. Most companies work on the design first and then they kind of insert copy. Do it the other way round. Other than that, think about the 3 most important things. Can someone understand what the author is, why they should care, and what to do next within 3 seconds on the landing page? And lastly, do not follow design trends. Do not copy your competitors. Do your own research and have your own hypotheses and follow those. That's it for me from today. Have a wonderful week, and I will be answering all your questions on the Facebook group. And if you want to post your landing pages, then get to it. I want to give you some suggestions. Okay, bye.